More than $1 million of your tax dollars are gone tonight. They went to a foreign business that promised to create jobs here in Virginia, but then skipped town.
All right, News investigative reporter Parker Slabaugh found out how it happened. The results will shock you.
Juan Christina, in 2014, Governor McAuliffe posed for this photo where he gave a Chinese company known as Lindenberg Industry $1.4 million in grant money. In return, they were supposed to create hundreds of new jobs inside of an old factory building in Appomattox that has sat empty for years. 18 months later, that town left asking, where are the jobs and where's all that money?
I come by here about every morning to see if the gates was open. I was expecting and hoping to get a job out.
There's no jobs here.
To bring this Chinese company over here and create 349 new jobs. This is exciting.
The new factory would be called Lindenberg. That announcement from Governor Terry McAuliffe came with much fanfare in November of 2014. The promise of a once again booming factory employing local workers had this town buzzing.
A lot of people went and they were hyped up about having, new jobs coming in. So
many here in Appomattox say they struggle to find full-time work. Most drive a half hour to Lynchburg or make the longer trek to Richmond every day.
To drive 6 miles to work and 6 miles home is a big advantage of driving 40 out and 40 back.
But now the governor's words seem to ring hollow on this now seemingly abandoned property.
This is the first major jobs announcement we have had in Appomattox in more than 15 years.
We wanted to find out where all that money went. The company got $1.4 million in incentives. No jobs ever came. Through a Freedom of Information Act request, 8 News received more than 3,000 memos, documents, and personal state official emails, all detailing the inside workings of the now failed Lindenberg venture. One document we uncovered was a letter from August 2014 from Lindenberg's CEO. He says they have, quote, been evaluating a number of locations for its new catalyst and industrial honeycomb manufacturing facility. He goes on to say, quote, if Appomattox County received an award from the Governor's Opportunity Fund and the total amount of $1.4 million to assist us with capital investments, we are prepared to select Appomattox County for this project. The factory would go here in the old Thomasville furniture plant.
This is definitely the biggest employer ever been here. Definitely.
The offer came over a year after the state was first introduced to what became known as Project Honey. Fast forward to September 2014, word comes that $1.4 million of GOF grant money has been approved. And the following month in October, the governor is in Beijing meeting with company executives. Note in the governor's confidential working papers for that event obtained by 8 News, it states that Catalan Chemical Company, Lindenberg's parent company, is based in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. A check of Catalan Chemical's website at the time has their address as 90 Piedmont Industrial Drive. Remember that address. We'll come back to it in a moment. But 2 weeks after that meeting in China, this news release goes out touting an announcement of 349 new jobs coming to Appomattox. A line in that press release reads, quote, project as a direct result of governor's meeting with company officials in Beijing, China. But if the project was a direct result of that China meeting, why was the grant money approved more than a month before? The news release also mentions Virginia successfully competed against North Carolina for the project. But this former North Carolina economic development official says he knew something wasn't right when Catalan came knocking.
Catalan gave us an address in Winston-Salem, and because I had lived and worked in Winston-Salem, I was very familiar with the building.
That address, the same one from their website. Graham did what apparently no Virginia official ever did. Paid them a personal visit.
When I visited the address, I found that Catalan had no presence there. And through a third party, I inquired of the leasing agent for the building, and they knew of no such company.
No sign of anyone who had even heard of Catalan Chemical, much less Lindenberg. Purveyor says not only did it appear the address was a fake, but another problem was also raised.
The company could not give us a corporate identity that was recognizable in North Carolina, or for that matter anywhere in the U.S. that we could establish.
So here we are, a year and a half after the big announcement and that ceremonial check presentation under the big top. Not the first job having ever been created.
And I still don't quite understand, because it just all fell through.
And as for all that money, $1.4 million of taxpayer money, all gone. Never has it been returned. Legal counsel for the Virginia Economic Development Partnership tells me Lindenberg has said they have no plans to return the money. But it does appear the agency is taking some responsibility for the botched agreement. An email from the COO that was sent to their staff that we obtained reads, quote, "Although our existing process has served us well in the past, it did not do so for the Lindenberg project. Review of the Lindenberg project makes it clear that VEDP did not fully vet this company." They also say, quote, "We take full ownership of this error." Residents now left only hoping one day these gates will swing wide open once again.
I hope we can get it booming again because it was, everybody likes to live where there's prosperity and good things going on.
It's not good. They need big business to come back. People are looking for jobs, and they need big business to come back.
Just today, the governor's office did tell Late News in a statement, quote, "Governor McAuliffe has made it his top priority to build a new Virginia economy, and he's had more than 670 economic development announcements so far in his term, bringing in more than $11 billion in capital investments to Virginia." He goes on to say accountability measures for economic development incentives have been re-examined and strengthened this year.
Parker, this is all very interesting.
So the question now, what has happened with this building?
Well, the building was foreclosed on, bought for $1 million by a local man. That's half the price as before. No word yet on what he plans to do with it. Also, Lindenberg left local contractors on the hook for hundreds of thousands of dollars for work already performed. State police are now investigating. Parker Slabaugh, 8 News.